This is commentary for West Ham versus Nottingham Forest in matchday 21 in the Premier League. It is played at the Olympic Stadium, the London Olympic Stadium, at West Ham's home ground. Good evening to everyone listening, and this is a big game at the bottom end of the table because both teams aren't in the best of positions at the moment. We've got West Ham sitting in 18th and Nottingham Forest in 17th, both on 11 points. Now, a win would take West Ham... Well, that's a lie, actually. West Ham on 15 points, Nottingham Forest are on 19 points. So a win would take West Ham 1 point away, 1 point closer to getting out of the relegation spots, and a win for Forest could possibly take them above Leeds, going 16th, but they would have to score 7 to 8 goals, or win by 7 to 8 goals. So not looking great. But either way, it helps both teams massively. Now, first we'll just go through the lineups. So West Ham are playing a 4-2-3-1. That is their usual formation. They played that against Wolves last week, and they've kept Areola in goal. They've got a back three of Scarlett, Todibo, Mavropanos, and Walker-Peters. Only one change in that back line, with Todibo coming in for Kilman, who did not impress against Wolves and has obviously been taken out of the squad for that. The two in midfield are Fernandes and Souček, replacing Potts and Magassa from last week. So big changes in the middle there. And the front four have been chosen as Somerville, Paqueta, Bowen and Castellanos up front. Now, this is similar to last week, but last week they had Somerville, Fernandes, Bowen and Wilson up front. Wilson has obviously lost his place. Fernandes dropped a bit deeper and Paqueta brought back into the side. Paqueta didn't play last week. In fact, he had a back injury, so he was out. And West Ham are without two key players. Wan-Bissaka is away at international duty with the Democratic Republic of Congo, so that's a big miss. As well as El Hadj Malik Diouf, he's away with Senegal, who could go very far in the tournament, so that's a big miss for West Ham. Now, if we move on to the Nottingham Forest lineups, they've gone with Sells in goal. They've had to bring him back into the squad, possibly quicker than they would have liked to, after John Victor, the Brazilian, was shown a red card in the 78th minute against Aston Villa in a 3-1 loss. They've then gone with Nico Williams, Murillo, Milenkovic and Aina, a back four that stayed the same from last week and was possibly key to them doing so well last season. That back four was just... you couldn't get past them. They were unbelievable together, and from corners going forwards, they were so powerful. In the middle, they've gone with a two of Dominguez and Anderson. This is similar, but last week we saw a 5 in the middle with one up front, and this time that they've gone with a 4-2-3-1. Anderson has been key to the fact that Nottingham Forest are just about staying up, because without him, and if he leaves in January, they would be a lot worse off. Then their front line has been chosen as Hudson-Odoi, Gibbs-White, Hutchinson and Igor Jesus, which is almost exactly the same, but Backwell loses his place to Hudson-Odoi, who came back from a knock. So it's just about the 10th minute here, and still 0-0. Not much going on between the two teams. Haven't really had much. Neither team have had much to defend, and yeah, there's only been 2 shots in the game for West Ham and 2 shots for Nottingham Forest. 1 each on target, about similar possession, 42-58. Expected goals quite low, 0.07 and 0.02. So not much going on at the moment. You can see some of the West Ham fans, you might say they're boycotting the game on this occasion. It's a big stadium to fill anyway, but there do seem to be quite a few empty seats, possibly to do with the West Ham board just not doing enough at the moment, not recruiting well in terms of managers, coaches, players even. So not the best of times for West Ham at the moment. But we can see West Ham have conceded the most goals and have had the joint least clean sheets. They've kept 1 clean sheet this whole season. Now that is pretty bad for the stands of a team who only 4 or 5 years ago won their first ever European trophy. They sacked David Moyes, and since then they've had Julian Lopetegui, they've had Graham Potter, and now Nuno, and no one's really been able to do the job. Nuno, I believe, needs to be given a little bit more time there. But considering the place of Nottingham Forest last year, it's quite surprising to see where they are now. They were doing so well. Haven't really sold much of their players. They sold Alanga, but he hasn't really found his form at Newcastle. So very surprising. West Ham with a corner here on this left-hand side. Flicked in. Oh! It looks like Souček got the final touch, but West Ham are ahead. It may even have come off Murillo, but a wicked ball in by Somerville was just glanced on, and there was nothing that Sells could do about it. Let's have a look at this again. Somerville just whips the ball into a dangerous position, and it looks like Souček heads it, and it comes at Murillo with such pace that he can't deal with it, and he's put it in the net at the wrong end. Heartbreak for Nottingham Forest. That's definitely not what they wanted. They need to just ease into this game, not force anything, not make any silly mistakes. And already they are behind in the 14th minute. But just as we were saying, how boring of a game it was, West Ham went and scored. Yeah, it's gone down as a Murillo own goal. Not much doubt about that one. Not too many will complain about that. It's a great start for West Ham though. At home, they have not been good at all this season. But to lead early on, they can set the tempo of this game now. Something that they haven't been doing enough. But Nottingham Forest are still in this. They still have the attacking threat. Hudson-Odoi. can easily just make something happen. Same with Morgan Gibbs-White. There's still a long way to go for West Ham, and we've seen how they've almost capitulated at times this season. Sales claims from the free kick but bounces over everyone. And Nottingham Forest look to build up again after that, after conceding from a set piece again. Marilla, Milinkovic, Anderson looking for options but has to go back to Marilla. Marilla gets it back from Jesus. This is good football from Forest. Just need to start putting a bit of threat on the West Ham players. And that's foul by Somerville. And Aina has won a free kick just inside West Ham's own half. Murillo again. Williams. Hudson-Odoi. Gives it to Anderson. Hudson-Odoi driving. Dominguez. Out to Williams. Can he look to get it into the box here? Anderson, good ball into Hudson-Odoi. Can't get under control and he goes back to Murillo. Murillo into the box. Touched by Jesus. He can't get under his feet. And West Ham look to break away quickly on the counter. Somerville. We know what pace he has. The referee's played advantage. Somerville driving and it's easily cleaned up by Sells. Following the rebound from Milinkovic. A lot more in this game now. We can see Forest putting numbers forward and West Ham have the pace to really hit them on the counter-attack, and that's what's going to make this game exciting. Even if it's two of the worst teams in the league, the fact that West Ham have scored so early gives this game a bit more value. Walker-Peters, lovely ball into Bowen, into the box, and no one's there to tap it in, but Souček recovers. Walker-Peters, Bowen, whips into the box. Walker-Peters, Souček blocked. Bowen can't get in the box. Walker-Peters drives it low and it's cleared by Milinkovic. A lot more action happening now since that West Ham corner. Nottingham Forest with numbers here. Gibbs-White, Hudson-Odoi, what can he do? Dominguez clips into the box, too high for Jesus, who goes to chase. Aina, just come back from injury, came on against Aston Villa, couldn't do much, ended up as a 3-1 loss, clips into the box, it's come back out to Anderson. Hudson-Odoi, cross is blocked, and it's cleared by West Ham. A lot of end-to-end stuff now. Neither team shying away from trying to create a chance. West Ham not just trying to look to hold on, they want to get a couple more. They know that they can put this out of sight. Aina, can he get in the box? It's blocked and gone out for a throw-in. Aina's gone short with it. Gibbs-White gone out for a throw in again. Long throw into the box. Cleared by Castellanos. Bowen goes to chase Murillo. Looks to go long, but takes the easy pass to Anderson. Back with Sal's now. What can Nottingham Forest cook up to equalise this game and really make it a good competition? Hutchinson, the former Ipswich man. Murillo switches the play. Aina, beautiful touch. Aina tries a bit of skill, and it's cleared away. But not as far as Dominguez, who gives it to Anderson. Murillo, chasing, gives it to Hudson-Odoi. A bit of space here. Has a shot, and well away. Into the stands, just behind Areola's net. Now that was a big opportunity for Nottingham Forest there. He didn't have to take the shot on. He could have gone for the underlapping run of Williams. But some good opportunities for Nottingham Forest here. Areola punts it long. The Frenchman's really enjoyed this part of his season, even in a struggling side. He's been at teams like PSG and never really found his form, but never really found his place. But here we're seeing a revitalised career of a goalkeeper. West Ham do look to keep their second clean sheet of the season. Nottingham Forest with a bit of space on this left-hand side. Hudson-Odoi cuts in, whips it in, easily cleared. Paqueta looks to get away, but it's won back very well by Dominguez. Williams into the box. Aina has a cross into the box. Igor Jesus, cross deflected, and Fernandez playing with fire there on the edge of his box, but he's done well. And Mavropanos goes long, tries to find Bowen, and almost gets it under control, but he does win a throw-in. And that is excellent from Mavropanos and Bowen. Just taking the pressure off completely. Just as Nottingham Forest are trying to build some momentum, they've now got to deal with a throw-in just on the edge of their box, in line with their box. Walker Peters, Mavropanos, Todibo, Fernandez. He's looked great so far in this CDM role. Bowen. We wonder how long he'll be at West Ham. You'd think he'd be too good to stay, but he's loyal, and he has stayed for a while now. Souček. Fernandes just gliding past players, holding them off with ease. Walker-Peters goes long again to Bowen. That's a nice ball, but Murillo covers well. But he's conceded another corner. Now this is danger for Nottingham Forest again. They don't want to go 2 down. And it's only the 25th minute. They got a long way to go. Not just in this match, but till half time. About half an hour till half time. 20 minutes without the added minutes. Whipped into the box and Sells as well, but it's come out to Fernandes and it's hit into the ground and cleared away. Skiles. Paqueta. Low cross into the box. Sells claims it well. And Aina looks to restart a Forest attack. They need to find some of that spark that they played with last season. Hudson-Odoi. Here's a man who can bring it to him. Gibbs-White. Looks to get the shot off. Great pass into Jesus. Gives it to Anderson. Dominguez. Into the box. Jesus. Heads it down. No one's there to meet his bounce pass. Sounds. Punts it long with great force. And Todibo does excellently to take it down under pressure. And Nottingham Forest have a throw-in. Constant pressure now from Nottingham Forest. Anderson's lost it here. And it's a 3-on-2. Castellanos, and he's gone the wrong way. Somerville trying to make the run, and it's a terrible pass. West Ham still have the ball, but that was a great opportunity for them to double their lead. Somerville turns. Souček. Walker-Peters. Souček again. Clips into the box. Somerville jumps. And Castellanos has spooned it wide. But West Ham have it back again after the Murillo clearance. Todibo. Areola already pulled out one excellent save this match. A long-ranged effort from Gibbs-White. Met spectacularly by the reflexes of Alphonse Areola. West Ham. Souček looks to switch it, but Somerville isn't there, and Aina clears. Aina again. Bit of room. Goes into Jesus. That's a great pass. Jesus has lots of time and space, but doesn't take it himself and goes back to Aina, who loses it. Todibo. Cleared away. And it's gone out for a throw. Now, there's usually goals in this game. The past 5 games, 3-0, 2-1, 3-0, 2-0, 3-2. And before that, 4-0, 5-0, 4-1, 3-2. So you can expect goals. The last time this game happened at the London Stadium was this time last season. And it ended West Ham 1, Nottingham Forest 2. Gibbs-White put put Forest in front. Doubled by Milenkovic, and Bowen scored consolation in the 86th minute. So far, we've only seen the one. Murillo, 13th minute own goal from the corner. But I think we can expect a few more goals definitely in this game. Dominguez. Anderson almost loses it, but does well to retain the ball. Milenkovic. They needed some great Serbian strength. From that corner to power through and head it away. That's what we saw last season from both Murillo and Milenkovic, but on that occasion, neither could power their way through the crowd and ease any pressure on the Forest fans. And that is 32 minutes now, and I am going to end the commentary there. Thank you for listening, and I will see you, I'll see you in the next one.